third time we're recording this video because we keep f***ing up the videos. Yeah, so today we're just going to be going through some...
riddles on the right side.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There's a bit of pressure on because that's how bright you are. Right, here we go.
Oh yeah, by the way, we've got a TV.
13 riddles that will test how bright you are. Can you name yourself a master of observation to join us? A woman invited her friend home for dinner. She made a meal of mashed potatoes and roast beef. For dessert, she cut an apple in halves and offered her friend one half along with some whipped cream on the side and put the rest of the cream in a separate bowl. She then ate her piece of the same apple. The friend died of poisoning, but the host survived despite eating from the same apple.
That's pretty obvious.
How is that possible?
Cream. Oh, the cream could be, poison.
Yeah.
It's poison. It would be poisonous.
Answer. The poison was in the whipped cream.
So obvious.
2. Who's lying?
Okay, we only got to
A
the last
man named Tom went hiking with his friend Chris on a Sunday after notifying his brother Dan. The next Saturday, the police finds Tom dead in the woods. Dan said that he had been working all week. Chris was found wandering around the highway. He said that he got lost in the woods right after they arrived and just found his way home. Look at the picture and guess who's lying.
Hang on, but that guy looks in quite good shape. The guy who's apparently wandering out on the woods.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Answer. Chris is lying. How can he be so well shaven after being alone in the woods for a week? 3. Guess the name of the murderer. A rich man who lived in a beautiful house on Baker Street, Mr. Ronald Green, has just been kidnapped, and Sherlock Holmes has been appointed to the case.
Right?
He finds a note at the crime scene written by Mr. Green. It read, 1st of January, 4th of October, 5th of March, 3rd of June.
Oh, I know.
Sherlock
Do
knew...
you add them up?
There you go. What's the J?
Yeah.
4th of October, O. 5th of March, H. 3rd of June, N. So it's, J... So the first letter is J.
J.
So the second letter
Is it O?
is O. So Joe, and then...
John? N-H?
John, it's John.
John.
Okay, right, guys, look.
that somehow the killer's name was hidden in the note.
John.
The suspects were as follows. Jack Green, the son and the heir of the property. John Jacobson,
it must be
boy
John.
of Mr. Green. June Green, Green's wife. Sherlock deduced the killer's name in an instant. Can you?
John.
It must be John, yeah. They'll just explain why in a minute if you can't work it out. I have seen one like
Answer.
this.
The kidnapper was John Jacobson. I knew it. Take these details into account. 1st of January means the first letter of the word January. J. 4th of October means the fourth letter of the word October. O. The 5th of March means the fifth letter of the word March. H. 3rd of June means the third letter of the word June. N. The name spelled out is John. 4. Guess the victim and the murderer's name. There are 5 men. These are the clues you've got. 1. One of them shot and killed one of the other 5. 2. Dan ran in the New York City Marathon yesterday with one of the innocent men.
Okay, so
3.
7.
Mark considered being a farmer before he moved to the city. 4. Jeff is a top-notch computer consultant and wants to install Ben's new computer next week. 5. The murderer had his leg amputated last month. 6. Ben met Jack for the first time 6 months ago. 7. Jack has been in seclusion since the crime. 8. Dan used to drink heavily. 9. Ben and Jeff built their last computers together. 10. The murderer is Jack's brother. They grew up together in Seattle.
Don't worry. So, the person who ran the New York Marathon has to be the one with the number on his chest.
Yeah.
So, Dan. Yes?
Yeah.
Mike considered being a farmer before he moved to a city. Jeff's the top-notch. He's probably the one in the suit, isn't he?
He's a tech guy.
So we've got two of the names. The guy in the blue looks really suspect.
Yeah. And the guy in the green.
I think the one with the green shirt might have been the recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
Just because, well, it looks like he's a bit dazed. So who was the recovering alcoholic? Dan. Wait, what? So Dan must have been that guy. I'm stuck because one of them ran the marathon with this guy.
No, the marathon guy might be Dan because he's recovering by running marathons.
With one of the innocent men.
Oh, let's just see what it is. It's just too complicated.
I think it's the blue guy. He looks really suspect.
Answer. Jeff killed
Oh,
Mike.
really?
How do we know? Jack is not the murderer. He is the brother of the murderer. Dan is not the murderer since he ran a marathon, and the murderer recently had his leg amputated. Ben is not the murderer. He just met Jack. Jack and the murderer grew up together. We know that Jeff is still alive because he wants to install Ben's new computer next week. Mike didn't grow up with Jack. If Jack, Dan, Ben, and Jeff are still alive, then Mike is dead. We can only deduce that Jeff must be the murderer.
That's so complicated.
The name is written on the note. One snowy night, Sherlock Holmes was in his house sitting by the fire. All of a sudden, a snowball came crashing through his window and broke it.
Extreme.
Holmes got up and looked out the window just in time to see three neighborhood kids who were brothers run around the corner. Their names were John Crimson, Mark Crimson, and Paul Crimson. The next day, Holmes got a note that read, "Crimson, he broke your window." Which of the three Crimson brothers could Sherlock Holmes question about the incident?
One of the three that ran away.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what was hard about this. And maybe one at home. If there's another one.
Answer, it was Mark. The note said question mark Crimson, which can be read as question mark Crimson.
Oh! Question mark.
6.
Yeah.
Think outside of the box with this one. A man was found dead in a field of snow. The only evidence that was left was a set of footprints between two parallel lines. Who should the police be looking for?
I think. Murderer?
I think.
Answer.
But
I think it's like a sleigh, because
yeah.
that's the sleigh bits, and then those
Is
like
it
the
the snow?
footprints of the dogs.
That's a snow.
Right, let's go.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Someone in a wheelchair. 7. There is no such thing as a perfect crime. A wealthy man lives
There
alone in
probably
a
is.
small cottage. Because he was handicapped, he had everything delivered to his cottage. The mailman was delivering a letter on Thursday when he noticed that the front door was ajar. Through the opening, he could see the man's body lying in a pool of dried blood.
Jesus.
On the porch were 2 bottles of milk, Monday's newspaper, a catalog, flyers, and unopened mail. When Sherlock Holmes got to the cottage, he told the police the killer was the paper boy. How did he know?
Monday's mail. So, oh, it's Thursday, and he must have been killed on Monday. The blood's dry, so
Yeah.
ages ago. And it's yeah.
He's the only person that continuously always goes there.
Yeah.
Answer. The absence of Tuesday's and Wednesday's newspapers indicated that the paper boy knew that the man was dead, and therefore, no one would read them. 8. Tricky trip.
What's
2
that
friends
also?
left for a climbing trip, but only one returned from the vacation and said that his friend slipped while climbing and died. Upon investigating, the police arrested him, saying, "We received a call from your travel agent. We know you murdered your friend."
Right,
The
basically,
man did not
pause it.
inform anyone about.
Basically, the problem is they called up and he only got a return ticket for himself. He bought a one-way ticket for his other friend.
Have you watched this?
No, but I've seen things like this.
The trip? Then how did they know that he was the murderer?
Ah.
Answer: the man had booked a round-trip ticket
Yeah,
for
yeah.
himself, but only a one-way ticket for his friend. 9. Everything will eventually come to light. A man named Evan called the police saying he had found his friend Liam murdered by the seashore. He said that he had lent Liam his beach house for the week during the California summer, and that he had just arrived from a month of work in Chile, Argentina to join him, only to find him dead.
In
When
Chile,
the police arrived,
Argentina. Chile's a different
they
country.
instantly realized he was lying. Look at the picture and guess why.
Well, he suntanned. Oh wait, no.
Oh, he's suntanned.
Yeah, but that Argentina's hotter than America. Huh. Let's go to sun.
Answer: if it's summer in California, it's winter
Oh,
in
yeah.
Argentina. The man was sunburned. He wasn't in Argentina. He was in California. 10. Not as obvious as it seems. Let's test your skills. You're shown the picture of these two women. One of them had been living in poverty for the last 10 years and just killed a man to pay her big debt. Can you figure out which one of
It's
them
going to be
did?
the one with more food because they just bought loads of food, I think. In my opinion. And with loads of frozen foods, I
Yeah.
think.
Answer: A. People
Yeah.
who have less disposable income tend to spend more on items that make them appear wealthier, like high heels, eye-catching clothes. It's a plus if the brand's name can be read, and heavy makeup. They usually spend more than they earn, so a full fridge for just one girl should reveal the truth. 11. You may kiss the bride? A man wakes up from a 2-day coma after a car accident with a case of amnesia. Suddenly, 2 women arrive at the hospital. One of them says she's his wife, and the other one says that they have kids. Who's lying?
Out of interest, why is there a purse made of tissue boxes? But anyway,
Yeah, I thought so.
bit
peculiar. Let's really see what it is, 'cause I have no clue.
Answer. The woman in the red dress is lying. She's not wearing a wedding ring. 12. How sharp are you? Sherlock Holmes 2.0 needs for his judgment to be sharp. Just by looking at the picture and only using your sharp, intuitive, and intellectual skills, tell us, which of these two families is poor?
the one with the pizza,
Yeah.
I think, because if you...
Because if you're
frozen
posh and
foods.
rich, you get the tiny little bits.
I know.
And if you're really rich, you do.
They have
Answer.
phones as
The
well.
family on the left is poor. A low-income family tends to gravitate toward food that is cheaper
Yeah.
but more energy-dense, like pizza, ice cream,
So-
and cake. A wealthier
Yeah.
family tends to choose more nutrient-dense foods such
So,
as
was that right?
vegetables,
Yeah,
protein,
so
and
I got
fruit.
that and you
No,
got
that
it right,
doesn't
sir.
mean they can't go for that occasional red velvet cake. 13.
I'm pretty sure it means what
Only
they can
for
eat whatever they want.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes would have noticed in less than a minute who the thief is in this picture.
Oh,
Sherlock
the
Holmes
woman
2.0
who's
would need to be
pregnant
as
because
observant
she
as his
might be
master to
lying,
be
she
able
might
to
actually
solve
have
this
something
riddle in
in
the
her
same
tummy.
amount of time.
Like,
Can you?
It's not a raven.
I think that, yeah, the boy in the tummy, the boy in the woman's tummy, it's actually...
Answer. The woman in the
Yeah,
yellow
so
dress
she
is the
stuffed her
thief.
shirt.
The hint reveals that the thief is not the boy. The toy shop does not sell small teddy bears like the small bear the mother has inside her purse, or the little bunny the man is carrying in a bag. The store sells balls, and the woman in the yellow dress has one of them inside her dress,
Well, I
making
didn't
it look
notice the
like
balls,
she's pregnant.
Nah.
How many riddles did you solve? Tell us in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a like, challenge
Yeah,
your
so
friends.
that's like it for for today's video.
Yeah.
You could solve the riddles as you go along.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the end of the video now. Anyway, yeah, so we hope you enjoyed that little thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, bye.
Bye.